What if I told you that in this country, you couldn't get divorced, you couldn't get an abortion, and you couldn't even get condoms freely until very recently? And in fact, it's one of the last countries in Europe to do so. This country is Ireland, and let me give you some quick numbers so you know I'm not just making this up. Number one, you couldn't buy condoms without a doctor's prescription until 1993. For context, most of the Western European countries have legalized contraception in the 60s, 70s, with the exception of Malta. Number two, homosexuality was illegal until 1993. Divorce completely banned until 1995, and when it did pass, it was by the tiniest of margins. Even Italy had their divorce legalized in the 1970s. The only ones to come after Ireland are Northern Ireland and Malta. Now this one is crazy. Abortion was completely illegal until, wait for it, 2018, so that's just a few years ago. And again, most of the Western European countries have legalized abortion in the 70s and 80s, even the most conservative ones. The only ones that still has a near total ban on abortion is again Malta. And by the way, do you want me to go to Malta and make an episode on this? Because I actually got really curious when I did my research. So yeah, these changes happened so recently. This is all within around 30 years or so. And so how did this affect the way Irish people now see things like sex, divorce, marriage? I went to Ireland, Dublin, the bigger city, and Cork, a smaller city, to get thoughts on what people are going through from the people themselves. And by the way, a cool fact, I had Clara. Some of you who have been watching the channel for quite a while might recognize her from a bunch of episodes that I did about, dating Irish women or studio videos. And so it was really cool to run into her in Dublin. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Let's get on to the video. Do you know of someone personally that was like in a miserable marriage, couldn't break up?
Loads of people. Yeah, lots of people.
My mom was actually one of the first people to get a divorce. I don't know if I'm definitely not bragging about that in any sense here, but yeah, my mom was one of the first people to get a divorce in Ireland. Go single moms, we love you.
Well, I think if people were unfortunate enough to be in a marriage that didn't work for whatever reason, they just, regardless of whether it was legal or not legal to do it, they just get on with their lives. So
I just don't think we're totally there yet mentally with the idea of divorce, unfortunately. Our separation period is 2 years. Putting that on the internet, that's a shock, that's an atrocity. Whereas other countries can divorce after a year. So yeah, there's a few things like that which are still, I think, in the dark ages a little bit.
Coming back to, we'd say, the time of my grandparents, there was no contraception, and people had 8, 9 kids, and you couldn't, we'd say, have sex out of wedlock. That was a huge thing.
Even using condoms wasn't allowed. They just weren't in the country. It wasn't like a case of they were illegal, they just weren't here.
People used to go to the north of Ireland and bring them back on the train and sell them illegally.
That's not a lie.
Wow. A friend of mine's dad was the first guy to organise trains from Euston up to the Belfast, and they brought the condoms back and they had a big news story and everything. So it was, it was a big deal.
I think Ireland eventually tried to catch up with the rest of the world to be like, hold on, this is getting a bit out of control here. We've got families who hate each other with 45 children because they have no condoms. We need to do something.
Do you come from big families?
I'm 4.
I have 6, yeah. But it's a little bit unusual, actually.
My family would be a fairly average modern Irish family, so I have a brother and a sister, so there's 3 of us. But I think there's 6 of my mom's, maybe 8 of my dad's, and that would be very common for most of my friends' parents.
There is a reason that divorce was banned, abortion illegal, and contraception restricted, and it came from the control of the Catholic Church, which practically ruled Ireland from 1922 to the 1990s. For generations, people were taught that sex before marriage was a mortal sin. Even thinking about birth control should make you feel guilty, and married women were expected to obey their husbands and stay home. And if you weren't married as a woman, you ran into other problems. Until the 1990s, the church ran mother and baby homes for unmarried pregnant women who were shamed, confined and forced to give up their babies for adoption, and many of those children were illegally sold or adopted abroad. Schools and hospitals were also run by the Catholic Church, enforcing strict codes of morality, so sex education was, of course, non-existent. It was, how dare you even think about having sex? And if you do end up having sex because you don't even know what it is and you can easily be tricked into it as a woman and you do end up pregnant, then of course, how do you deal with that pregnancy? Because you don't know anything about contraception and contraception isn't available. So what would happen is young women would end up having kids, and women had as many as 4 to 6 kids on average. On top of that, people were literally taught to police their own thoughts. Confession was mandatory and priests were keeping track of every sin, which left everyone with this deep internalized guilt. And that's what we now call the Catholic guilt. The Catholic Church has lost its control on the Irish society about 3 decades ago, which is incredibly recently. And so that really got me thinking about Catholic guilt. Does it still affect the people, or is it now long gone, total stereotype, and nothing to do with Ireland?
Catholic guilt, is this still a thing?
It's like a guilt that you have because you're Catholic. So like riding before marriage.
Talking about sex, the deed,
none of that.
It's not a religion question.
None of that.
No,
I've no guilt.
He's no guilt whatsoever.
No guilt about anything.
No, I ain't Catholic.
No, not at all. You don't even.
No, I mean, it's old school. Like, my mum and dad would be very Catholic, but like, it's died out. Big time.
Gone, they're gone.
No, are they?
No, the Catholic values are gone. You're talking to basically 2 divorced people here.
That's true. You are divorced. You're right.
Yeah, Catholic guilt's a long time gone, I think. Yeah, that's an old trope going back probably 40 or 50 years.
Do you feel like there is still some Catholic guilt?
Oh, for sure. 100%. Oh my God, yeah. We're all very quiet and shy, but you're not.
Interesting.
Yeah, you wouldn't talk about it. You'd just be like, oh, would you go home with them? And you'd be like, yeah, and then that would be the end of it. You'd never go further about it, so it would just be conversation over.
Do you agree with them?
Yeah, definitely.
Why is that?
Just none of their business.
We're all just prudes, really, deep down. Yeah. But not really.
I think Irish people can actually be quite awkward about talking about sex and stuff like that. Yeah, I feel like it is kind of a taboo, kind of I don't know. Yeah, hookup culture.
Yeah. Interesting. Is that Catholic guilt, do you think?
Possibly, yeah. It could stem from that.
In comparison with international countries, we'd be much more I suppose closed off when it comes to kind of sex and sexual freedom and promiscuity. I mean, you wouldn't see much PDA, public displays of affection, from Irish people, because again, it goes back to, God forbid Mary up the road might see you holding hands with this woman. A lot of it is down to what the neighbours might say, you know what I mean?
Yeah, do you know what? There used to be kind of this shame around kind of sexuality and people kind of finding that a little bit. I think that was definitely something that I noticed before moving, because when I was in Toronto, I didn't actually know what polygamy was. It's not something that myself or my friend group were overly exposed to. So I remember going to Toronto and being like, what is this that people are doing? Why? And now I've kind of find that's sort of the case here now in Ireland. I've come back and I'm like, oh, you've got multiple boyfriends. That's interesting. Cool.
It's so it's a thing here now.
Yeah, it's a thing here now. And I'm like, right, okay.
So Catholic guilt is no longer kind of a thing?
No, not really. Not really. And I think people definitely seem to be a little bit more outward in their expressions. Certainly liberated in different ways that maybe you wouldn't have noticed before. And that's great. But it is kind of odd to come back to, because it kind of just feels like coming back to a mini America in that sense.
I've had friends now who are mad, will hook up with the first person they see now, and I'm kind of oh my God, Jesus. But not everyone is like that, because I wouldn't be like that now. I would wait until I had a boyfriend or something like that. But you'd be very surprised on how much people, especially when people in college, everyone gets to each other in college.
Interesting.
Everyone, yeah.
So where's the Catholic guilt?
There is none in college.
Okay, there's certain things when I moved to America, I heard these things about Ireland. What Americans thought about our Catholic guilt, the Irish curse, all these things. I'm like, have you heard this? The Irish curse.
Sorry, I'm completely done with this.
For your audience out there in America, you'll all know what I'm talking about. And I've never heard this before. The Irish curse.
What is the Irish curse?
I'll whisper it to his ear.
Whisper really loudly.
Small.
No. Jesus, no.
Yeah!
Not at all.
This is the
I've never heard of this one.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, I heard this. Anyway, so my mission was to go to America and prove to the entire female population in America that it was not true.
By the way, just a really quick note, because I felt like I got quite different answers from both Dublin and Cork. And I mean, it's not really surprising if you think about it, because Dublin is another major city, right? And major cities are a lot more progressive on average. People say that they don't really represent the country. And so Dublin for me is definitely more progressive, more metropolitan, more international. And so people feel like they've really passed the whole Catholic guilt thing. Whereas Cork is still a big city, but it's much smaller. If you are Irish, what do you think about Catholic guilt? Let me know in the comments below. I recently watched a great Irish series called Normal People. It's very Irish in style. Grey, slow, nuanced, and realistic. Definitely not one of those Hollywood versions of Ireland with rolling green hills and very loud Irish music. Anyways, the main character really felt like the ultimate Irish guy. Smart, kind, deeply caring, but wow. He really struggled to talk about his feelings. It was almost painful to watch him mess up his relationship just because he couldn't say what he was feeling. This whole emotions thing goes back to the Catholic Church. Emotional restraint, modesty, and self-control were considered virtues. And if you were a man showing vulnerability, it was seen as weak and even sinful. On top of that, small towns meant that everyone knew everyone else's business. You don't want to draw attention to yourself, so it was easier and safer to show care by banter and playful teasing. You definitely didn't want to go the whole, I love you, man, you mean so much to me. You know, the whole American style type of over-the-top exchange.
I miss my wife. I'm just as scared as you are, Sarah, but I'm right here.
Some women say that Irish men don't talk about their feelings. What do you think about this one?
Sorry, I'm leaving.
I'm not allowed.
100%. They really like keep it in, I don't think they know if they have feelings half the time.
Yeah, I think they just say that they're grand and then that's the end of the conversation, really.
Yeah. It's not bred into us. We're too tough, too hardy. We don't talk about emotions or feelings or anything like that.
I heard that in this part of the world, men also don't really talk about their feelings a lot. Like
No, they don't. Irish men are just, they're hermits. They just like expect it to come to them. You know, not all men, not all Irish men, but yeah, they don't talk about their feelings, they don't talk about emotion. It's just like, oh yeah, let's get f***ed up, let's drink. Okay, let's see what happens.
They like randomly will come out with something like ages after. It's like, you're like, oh my god, that's really traumatizing. They're just like, it's not. Like that they're just kind of like, they don't see it as like something that's like a big deal.
Like if you get compliments or if you compliment someone, is that something you do a lot, or are you just like, it's too much, it makes me uncomfortable?
Yeah, I hate it.
Do you really?
Yeah, like it's like, oh my god, like, and even if it's something that like we'd say maybe I know it's true, or we'd say like on a head level I like to hear. It's like on a physical, like oh my god, don't say that, like, or no, don't tell me that, you know what I mean? I'd be slow to compliment as well. It just doesn't come naturally. You know what I mean?
If you got a compliment, you'd always turn it back to be an insult. Like, off. But don't be saying a nice thing to me. It's like, yeah, you don't want to accept it. It's always like a negative. Yeah. Somehow.
It's like if you said, oh, you're dressed well. Oh, this stuff. Oh,
that's shit.
Oh, I picked it up in pennies.
If you tell a woman, like, we say, oh, that's a beautiful dress, they have to tell you where they bought it and the price. And usually it's pennies and on sale.
It's like, oh, it was cheap.
Yeah.
I'd say we're kind of the same though. I wouldn't be very romantic either. I'd say it's just Irish people in general. Yeah.
That's a really great point. So if a man is like, let's say you're dating, I don't know, he's from Brazil. And he's like, oh, you're so beautiful, I love you, you look so beautiful, you look so sexy. Is that a good thing, or are you like, enough, stop?
I'd be like, I wouldn't, I just don't know what to say. I'd be like, I'm just not used to it, so I wouldn't even know what to say. So
cheesy? Like it feels cheesy, overwhelming?
Yeah. Maybe like fake or something.
Yeah, because like if an Irish lad said that, oh, you look lovely, like, oh, he actually means it, 'cause he'll like never say it again.
Yeah, we're way more casual, I feel. Like it's very, very easy, very chill. Like you deep down probably want that, but you don't know how to react.
So if a man goes up to you and he's like, I think you're just so beautiful, like, can I get your number? Is that a good thing, or is that like, whoa, it's like too much?
Someone said that to me in the pub 2 weeks ago and I laughed at his face. He was Irish and he was just like, you know, you're so gorgeous. I was like, oh my god, that's so funny. I don't know why. I was just not used to hearing that.
Really?
So I think I would just think it's funny, a joke, kind of. I thought he was joking.
I think I like the idea of it. Then when it actually happens, I'm kind of like, oh, stop. Do you know what I mean? I'm very bad for that. I'm always like, oh my God, I wish he was like that. And then when my boyfriend is like that, I'm kind of like, all right, like, calm down.
Irish men don't talk about their feelings. How true is this one?
I would disagree. I think it's getting a lot better. It would absolutely be after a few pints. I tell you,
If I was asked, I would tell, but I don't really.
If I had
Normally,
some shit going on, I wouldn't do it to you sober.
Yeah, true.
Maybe I'm a touchy-feely kind of Irish person. You know, I can express when I'm happy. I can tell you when I'm sad. But that's it.
Are you serious? Or you're just making funny?
No, I'm being 100% serious.
no
And this is also how
sarcastic
Irish
funny.
men deal with talking about emotions. Make light of it. It's all a joke.
We're not like flamboyant like some of the Europeans. We're not like the Italians, you know. We're not like, in your face with the romance type thing. We're a bit more reserved, yeah. That's why we drink. I think we're a bit pent up as men anyway in Ireland.
I think the difference between the guys in Toronto, there's no ambiguity. They will tell you. They will be like, oh, I think you're kind of cool. Yeah, and you're like, wow, it's very startling. What do you mean? That was so straightforward. But like here, it's like you could be dating a guy for like 3 months before he asks you out. Like that's actually happening. A friend of mine right now, he's been seeing this girl for 2.5 months, I think, maybe 2 months. And he's like, I think I'm going to ask her. I think I'm going to ask her the question. And I'm like, but it's been 2.5 months. I thought you were like already boyfriend and girlfriend. And he's like, no, we've just been dating. And that's like a normal thing, possibly because it's Dublin and maybe that's more a capital city kind of vibe.
So I'm taken, so I can't speak for dating.
Is he Irish?
But he's English. And that's why.
And that's why?
Yeah. Well, no, that's not why, but it might be.
Do your friends complain? Are they
all
they're
the time? All the time.
Really?
Yeah.
So not, like nothing happens, it just dies down.
They take probably a week to reply.
Again, it is like kind of thing you need to like text somebody for like 2 months, then you go on like you date that for another 2 months, and then I feel like it can be very frustrating.
Oh, I disagree, but maybe I'm the exception. I'm an exceptional romantic and I don't hide my feelings.
You're romantic.
You never talk about your feelings in your life. A bit of poetry, a bit of love, a few drinks, touch, feel,
Yeah, I don't think men are quite so good at talking about feelings in Ireland. I think I'm not sure, it's probably...
maybe I'm not a real man, sorry.
Probably, you're just a romantic. I guess we were highly influenced by our own parents, and our own parents came from fairly tough times in a period of time when men, or women probably, didn't talk about their feelings very much.
Well, would you agree with him or with me?
Oh, Peter, yeah. People don't learn, men don't talk about their feelings.
Be seen and not heard, like, you know, we've kind of a bit of a toxic mentality here in Ireland too, where like, who does he think he is over there, like doing well for himself and like actually living a good life, you know? As Irish people, we can really look down upon anyone who's looking good or doing well. Like
certain countries have it. It's like, don't think you're a tall poppy or we're going to cut you down.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Like, who do you think you are going out there and being happy, living a good life for yourself?
Get cut down. That's the Irish way. If you get too high on your horses, we'll cut you down. We don't like people who are full of themselves, but that's the same everywhere, right?
Yes, but also I think Americans are a little bit more, but like if you tell...
Yeah. We're not as materialistic. We're not as like bling bling and showing off, no. We're more understated.
So like I lived in California for a year and it was a lot of, oh, I love you, and then behind their back they're really crass or rude. Whereas in Ireland, if someone says something nice, they mean it. Yeah.
It's not like, oh my God, I love you.
It's so nice to meet you, that's so great. And then they turn around, their face drops, and you're like, I hate that lad.
We do value who you are as a person more. I think conversationally, we are a nation of storytellers. We really do like to connect in that way. It can take a bit longer because there can be kind of underlying trust issues, I think. I don't know why that is. I've still noticed that even when I got back, people are like very, very untrusting.
Like, you're beautiful. But it's like I'm more interested in what you're doing here and what's the crack with you interviewing people. So we're interested in the person behind the face.
I like that. What is it important that your partner does?
Makes me laugh, like genuinely laugh, not because I'm being polite, like make me laugh.
Yeah. Make me laugh. In 2024, Dublin was ranked as the second most expensive city
in Europe. So it makes sense that a lot of people want to stay with their parents because they simply cannot afford to move out. And this, of course, reminds me of a lot of countries like Italy or Greece, where a lot of men live with their parents for a very long time and have gotten the nickname mama's boys. And I was not really surprised because I already kind of knew it, but I was kind of interested to find out that Irish men have this crazy reputation of being mammy's boys. The Irish mam is such an iconic figure in the Irish culture that Wikipedia actually has a page for her. And apparently, according to many sources, Irish mams love their boys so much that they mother them all the way into adulthood. One study even found that Irish men spend more on presents for their moms on Mother's Day than they do for their partners on Valentine's Day. That alone says a lot about romance in Ireland.
From the basic perspective of just not knowing where to live, you have a lot of people like moving back in with their parents now, you know, at like 30, 40. Yeah, it's pretty hard for people here. I think that makes it really hard to pursue relationships as well, because instantly people are like, hey, do you have a house? Like, want to move in together? What's your financial situation like?
Are you guys close to your family? Mom, mammy?
Honestly, too close. Still live with both of them.
But is it because it's so expensive in Dublin, or is it that like you really, really love them and you want to spend time with them?
He could move out if he wanted to. He just loves it too much there. He would never leave.
Why would I? Ah, no, it is.
He needs to branch
why would I spend most of my wages on renting somewhere that's a fucking 25 minutes from where I've bed and board and food and electricity?
That's another stereotype, that Irish guys love their mom.
Oh, 100%, yeah. Contact her once a week, yeah, 100%.
I love my mom.
Yeah, you have to be.
I love my mom. Yeah, of course.
Mom's always reared us, looked after us, so it's a special bond. Irish families, mom, dads, kids, very close. So I've been instilling you to like look after your mom, look after your dad.
One thing I always do is like when I get back home and like come into my house and I'll see my mom and we'll sit down, have like a cup of tea and some slices of bread and some biscuits, and we'll just like have a chat for a couple of hours and like, you know.
Sounds very Irish.
Just like, you know, catch up in each other's lives.
Like Italian men. Yeah. Is there a reason behind it? Yes. There's a joke about the Irish mammy, and I think, yeah, she tends to take care of the boy in the house.
Yes. Every Irish boy wants to ultimately marry his mother. That's what they're looking for in a younger and hopefully more attractive format.
Okay, enough about Irish mams. I had one final question to ask Irish people, and that was, you know, having gone through all of this, the condom restrictions and the abortion bans and all of that, what did the Irish people now think about getting married and having kids? Did they still have this white picket fence fantasy, or were they totally turned off by this old confining lifestyle?
Let's say back when you were 20, in your 20s, how did you meet each other?
Went to the pub and you hopefully met somebody. Yeah, then you went to a nightclub, and it was difficult getting in actually in the old days. You had to pretend you weren't too drunk.
Yeah, I met my wife in O'Brien's in a bar, yeah. So bars were the most common, I would say.
Do you ever approach people, women?
No.
No.
I'll be honest, no.
Why not?
I don't know. I'll need a few more of these.
To say it or to approach?
To approach.
Okay, what about you guys? Do you approach ever?
Like, I've been in a relationship for 4 years now, so it's something I've not really had to think about. But yeah, before that, it's like, it would be nicer if you could just have a lot more in person, you know? We had COVID and stuff like that, just made it tough, and then, yeah, the apps really got big since then. And even then on the apps, it's like, feels like some people just aren't looking for actual kind of proper serious stuff. They're just looking to mess around, and yeah, so I wouldn't say it's that great in Ireland. Just from my personal experience, I think I just got lucky, but...
How did you guys meet?
Through an app.
Which one?
Bumble. And then up until then, zero success on Bumble. Obviously the girls message first. Be getting matches, nobody messages anything. It's like, you can't do anything about it.
Do you want to get married?
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah, 100%.
What's your timeline? Do you have a timeline?
No timeline, no. No timeline. How about you? Are you married?
It's not my kind of interview. Do you want to get married?
I do, yeah. Not to an Irish guy.
Because they're slow?
Well, because I'm dating an English guy.
Do you want to get married?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kids? Kids, yes, no, unsure?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Oh wow, okay. When you say get married, is there like an age that you had in mind that you wanted to?
Yeah, 30.
Do you guys want to get married? Do you want to have kids or no?
That's a dream, yeah.
That's a dream.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want a whole dream, bro. Just with a dog, man. I want 2 dogs.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, of course. When the time is right.
Honestly, or are you just saying because you say?
No, I do, of course. Yeah, kids and a wife eventually. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was going to say 100%. Like, that's kind of the dream, like Cian said. Just have a nice family, married, big house, dog, cat, few kids. Yeah, like.
Oh, dog and a cat.
Yeah, for sure.
After this interview, all the girls are going to come to Ireland. You're going to get like an increase in tickets.
Oh, good question. Growing up, I always wanted to get married and have kids, and then I went through a period, we'd say kind of late 20s, where I didn't imagine at all getting married or definitely not having kids. But now I'm in a place in my life where like I actually don't think that there's anything more beautiful.
Do you want to get married?
Yeah, eventually, yeah.
Yeah, it's in your...
I do. I like the idea of that, like getting married, having kids, having a house. But then sometimes I'm kind of like, could I live with a man forever? Do you know?
I have a question. Do you see yourselves marrying?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'd love to have a massive Irish wedding. I think it'd be a great crack, yeah.
Just a great crack, just for the day.
You know, we're on a first date.
Are you really? Well, you're really getting to know each other properly. So should a man pay on the first date? Yes.
Yes, yeah, okay. What am I paying for exactly? Pints, okay. Dinner, are we getting dinner?
Vacation. Whatever I need.
Hey, I've been on 5 dates in the last 2 weeks, and I've paid for all of them.
Quick shout out. Congratulations to Carl and Shiv. Not sure where this is going to end up, but we're going to get details after. Hope they have a long and lovely marriage, and I can't wait to be there for all of it.
What do you think is really, really important in a long-lasting relationship?
Ooh, Jesus.
Tolerance.
What do you think?
Tolerance is the biggest thing.
Love, romanticism. You got to keep it going. You got pretend every day is the first day you've met each other. And,
Really? Do you do that?
Oh yeah, no. Every day is a new day.
So sweet.
Never take it for granted. Yeah.
So yeah, the answers were super interesting and I was actually quite surprised. But before you say, whoa, everybody in Ireland wants to get married, actually the stats show that Ireland is still one of the oldest countries to get married. So this is something that is really interesting. But the point that I want to make is that yes, while Irish people may not want to get married early, especially in bigger cities like Dublin, marriage is still such a big part of the culture, because if you go to other countries in Europe, go to Scandinavia, most of the people will not even choose marriage as the ultimate goal, because marriage is seen as something outdated and something quite unnecessary. But in Ireland, people still have that goal in mind. Of course, a lot of it is because of the legal reasons associated with getting married in Ireland. But I think a lot of it goes back to the Catholic roots and the family focus in Ireland, and I think there's a romanticism about getting married that is still present in the country. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video. I didn't want to do another video about the Irish crack and how people get drunk and the fun, because I think that's quite obvious and I would like to go deeper with these videos. So if you like the focus of this video and if you want to see more like this, examining cultural nuances, not having to do with dating all the time, but just really interesting cultural nuances, please let me know in the comments below. And of course, if you haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel for more on dating around the world. Thank you guys for watching, and as usual, keep breaking down your barriers.
I'll tell you a story, it happened to me one day as I went down to Youghal by the sea. The sun it was bright and the day it was warm. Says I, you know, pint it won't do me no harm. I went in and I asked for a bottle. I didn't see the first glass, but it's still the balm. And I'm sorry, the beer is soda. Try whiskey or bally, 10 years in the brew. Says I tried cider. I've heard it was true.